First, Tetsunoguchi's review is truly awesome. Read it first. I think he has it dead on. My own take is that the Optimus Polaris is a great stove, with pretty much the same caveats. I've run both white gas, naphtha, and Optimus compressed propane/butane through it several times now, and it seems to work quite well. I especially like the integrated jet cleaning needle since it doesn't require carrying around a tiny, easily broken tool. As one of just a few stoves that can burn anything from jet fuel to propane, and that can be used in colder conditions with an inverted pressurized gas canister, I think it can't be beat. However, I'll be honest here that I haven't yet had the opportunity to try the stove with a gas canister in very cold conditions. Nits, all minor. Getting propane/butane initially lit can be a little challenging at altitude, since it requires getting a flame down into the burner area. Priming with alcohol might help. The stove is rather loud when running at full tilt. It's a pretty tight fit inside my old Primus 1-liter pot with the lid locked down, and there's no way to fit even a 110-gram fuel canister inside with it. I bought the Optimus Polaris stove specifically for the additional convenience of using easily available pressurized fuel canisters for a backcountry trip in Japan. But something Tetsunoguchi points out has already caused me to consider buying another stove, one that he mentions. This isn't a criticism of the Optimus Polaris, and I'm definitely keeping the stove. It seems well made, it's great to have a stove that will burn nearly anything, and I like the way it works. But the first thing I noticed right out of the box is that the Polaris isn't really lightweight. Using a postal scale, these are the weights for various components: stove essentials, stove assembly 328 grams, magic tool 37 grams, liquid fuel essentials, pump 146 grams, 300 milliliters, bottle 83 grams, included, bottle. Since white gas canisters are pressurized by hand pumping and the fuel won't gel at any temperature likely to be encountered on the surface of the Earth, it's a reliable fuel in cold environments. Conversely, pressurized gas canisters can lose pressure in low temperatures when the liquid inside the canister becomes too cold to boil off. If they were filled with just liquid propane, this wouldn't be an issue down to about 40 F, 40 C. But the vapor pressure of pure propane requires a prohibitively heavy steel bottle for backpacking, think Coleman bottle. The compromise solution is to mix propane with isobutane, 2-methylpropane, which has a lower vapor pressure. Using 1/3 propane, and 2/3 isobutane, a pressurized fuel canister can be manufactured with much thinner and lighter materials. However, the isobutane will only continue to vaporize, boil off inside the canister as pressure is released, down to about 11 F, 11 C. Refining pure isobutane also adds a production cost, so it's usually left mixed with about 50% or more, and butane, which unfortunately stays liquid up to 31 F, 1 C. That means that 1/3 of the fuel in an ordinary canister isn't going to boil off once it gets below freezing, and 2/3 will get left behind in single-digit temperatures. See the fuels note at the end of this review. A pressurized canister will also cool off as it decompresses its contents in exactly the same way as a refrigerator, so the canister can become even colder than its surroundings. The apparent solution to cold weather use of pressurized gas is to flip the canister upside down so that the vaporized propane above will push the still liquid butane/propane out the bottom of the canister. Click link in description for more reviews.